The marble halls of Etheria's celestial temple stretched high into the heavens, their surfaces carved with the names of rulers past. Princess Seraphine walked alone beneath the great domed ceiling, her bare feet cool against the sacred floor. Before her, the eternal flame burned atop an altar, its golden light flickering across the faces of the gathered nobles, priests, and warriors. This was the night of her ascension. Her heart pounded. The rite of shearing had been performed for centuries, each queen of Etheria surrendering her hair as a sign of devotion, rebirth, and absolute power. Yet Seraphine had never expected to be the one standing here. She had been the second-born, raised in the shadow of her elder sister, Princess Valora, who had been destined for the throne. But fate had been cruel. The Grand Oracle stepped forward, her pale, rune-marked scalp gleaming in the candlelight. Her voice, deep and resonant, filled the chamber. "Seraphine of Etheria, do you come before the gods willing to forsake vanity, weakness, and doubt?" "I do," Seraphine said, though her voice was softer than she intended. The oracle's gaze bore into her. "Once this blade touches your skin, there is no turning back. You will not simply wear the crown, you will become it." Seraphine inhaled deeply, then lowered herself onto the kneeling stone before the altar. Her silver-gold hair cascaded down her back like liquid moonlight, its strands trembling as if they, too, feared the blade. The oracle lifted the sacred razor, a blade forged from fallen stardust, used only for the coronation of queens. The first lock fell. A hush swept over the chamber. The gathered nobles, once indifferent to her claim, now watched in reverence. Seraphine felt a strange sensation as the razor glided over her scalp, vulnerability, yes, but also a deep and unfamiliar strength. With each stroke, she shed not only her hair but the weight of doubt, the whispers of courtiers who had dismissed her, the fears that had bound her for years. More hair fell. The cold temple air kissed her newly bare skin. When at last the oracle stepped back, the ritual complete, Seraphine reached up with trembling fingers and touched her smooth scalp. Seraphine frowned. "What mark?" The oracle grasped a polished mirror and held it before her. Seraphine's breath caught. Beneath the soft glow of the eternal flame, golden runes shimmered across her scalp, forming ancient symbols that pulsed with ethereal light. She traced them with her fingertips, feeling the energy hum beneath her skin. "The gods have spoken," the oracle murmured. "You are not merely queen, you are the bringer of dawn." The city of Etheria was ablaze with celebration, yet Seraphine stood alone in the royal chambers, staring at her reflection. The golden runes on her scalp had faded, leaving only the smoothness of her shaven head behind. She traced her fingers over it, still unfamiliar with the sensation. She had always hidden behind her hair. It had been a symbol of nobility, of femininity, of the princess she once was. Now, she was something else entirely. A knock sounded at the door. "Enter." The doors opened, and General Alaric stepped inside. His battle-worn armor gleamed, and his expression was unreadable. He had been Valora's greatest supporter. Seraphine had long feared he would never accept her rule. "You wear it well," he said at last. "The crown?" she asked. Alaric's eyes flickered to her shaved head. "That as well." A small smile touched Seraphine's lips. She turned to the crown resting on the velvet cushion. Unlike the golden circlets of past rulers, this was the crown of the Shorn, an unadorned circlet of celestial steel, meant to rest against bare skin. She lifted it and placed it upon her head. The moment the metal touched her scalp, the runes flared to life once more. Power surged through her, and for the first time since her sister's death, Seraphine felt whole. She turned to Alaric. "Summon the council. What shall I tell them?" "That the bringer of dawn has risen." Days passed, and the tides of fate shifted. Etheria's enemies had grown bold, believing the new queen to be weak. Seraphine would prove them wrong. She rode to battle not with flowing hair but with a gleaming scalp, her runes glowing beneath the starlight. The armies of the Shadowborn trembled as she raised her blade, her voice ringing across the battlefield. By dawn, the world had changed, and the legend of the Shorn Queen had begun.